Hello and welcome back to this channel. My name is Emma, and for those who are new, this is a knitting podcast. Today is a regular episode, but sometimes I also film some vlogs or about the crafts or like weekly vlogs, and sometimes some project vlogs where I only talk about one knitting project. Today is just about knitting. I hope it's okay with the sun. It's the time that I have to film because my baby's sleeping, so this will do for me. So I hope it's okay for you, that it won't bother you too much. I'm gonna try to listen if my baby wakes up, so I'm not talking too loud. And yeah, let's start. I haven't been knitting that much lately as I used to because, well, first I have a baby and a toddler at home, so it takes a lot of my time. But also because I've been doing other things, because we've got a lot of sun lately, like it's really sunny days, and so it was also time to sow some seeds. So I've been spending a lot of time in the garden with the seeds, so to ensure that we have flowers and vegetables this summer. So it made me really happy to be able to go back to the garden and do this again. I love this time of the year. And I've been doing also a lot of watercolor painting, which made me so happy, and I absolutely love it. So it took up a lot of my time, and especially since I've been wanting to learn a lot more to improve my skills and not just paint without knowing anything about it. So I went to the library to take some books and to learn a lot more about it. So this has taken up a lot of my knitting time, but I still have some things to show you. First, I wanted to talk about this scarf that you've seen last time if you watched the last episode. So this is a scarf that I made. I made the pattern, and so I asked if some of you were interested to have the pattern, so I wrote it. It's a very simple scarf, but with those cables, very simple cables here. And so I wrote the pattern because some of you were interested, and so it took a lot of time to actually write it, and it's ready for testing. So I will put a link to a form down below, so if you're interested to test knit it, here it is. And yeah, so you can have all of the information in the Google form linked down below. And it's a very simple scarf. You don't have to use any needles, any cable needles for it. So it's really nice, and it's a decay weight yarn, and I think it's perfect for this time of the year when it's still a little bit fresh in the morning, in the evenings, and so you can wear it. And I think it's perfect for spring, for autumn. So yeah, I'm quite happy I wrote this pattern and that it's now ready for testing. Now for the finished objects. The first one that I have is the Easy Scalloped washcloth from Purl Soho, which is a free pattern, and I made it here. We've used it quite a lot already, and I've made it in 100% cotton yarn, and it's one, I don't have the tag anymore. It's a yarn that I've had in my stash for at least 6 years, and it's 100% cotton from Sandnes Garn, and I wanted to replace the ones that we have in microfiber, not to have plastic anymore, and I only did 3 scalloped edge instead of 4 or 5 I think in the pattern. and I held the yarn double. And so I think it's a little bit thick now that we've been using it. And so I will try again with just one strand, because it's good, but it does take a lot of time to dry. And so it's not very practical to have something that's always wet, because it doesn't dry in between the different times we use it. So I like this pattern, very easy. We don't need the pattern anymore once we've done the first scalloped edge. It's knit this way, by the way, like this. And so we do the scalloped edge by increasing and decreasing. So very easy to do. And it's in garter stitch. So yes, we'll do it again, but with just one strand to try to see if it's better. The next finished object that I have is a pair of slippers that I made for my toddler. Another one. Here it is. This is the double tøfler by Sandnes Garn, another free pattern. And we knit it. We knit it double, and then we put one side inside the other after washing it and felting it. And it makes this slipper. And I made quite a few modifications. First, I only have one out of the two, because I made them, felted them, used them, gave them to my toddler, he used them for a week, and then we lost one. I don't know how that is possible. I mean, we don't live in such a big house, we don't have like that many things in the house, so I don't understand how it is possible to lose one slipper. We've looked everywhere, and it's not like he's going outside with them. I mean, he's wearing it inside. He's wearing them inside the house, and we can't find them anymore. So, yes, all those hours knitting them just to lose one. Very, very good. Anyway, I can at least show you one, but it's a bit of a shame. Anyway, so I used Drops. I'm gonna take my notes so I don't tell you anything wrong. In Drops Alaska. And what I absolutely love about them is that I made them in scrap yarns. So all Drops Alaska that I used to make other slippers with, but all the colors are memories from other slippers. And both of them are a bit different, because I didn't want to count the rows or anything. I just wanted to go with the yarn that I had, and so they're a tiny bit different. And the other one is a little bit has a little bit of a lilac-y color in it. And yeah, one big modification. I talked a lot about them in the last episode, so if you're interested about all the modifications that I made, you can go back and watch the last episode. And one big thing that I made for those ones, it's the first time I made anatomical toes. So as you can see, this is the right foot. This is a lot more straight than this part here. So this is for all the toes, and this is on the big toe side. And it fits a lot better. And it's a lot better for the foot to be able to spread the toes. And so, yeah, I'm really glad I did that. One little thing is that I felted them too much, so they're a little bit hard to put on. It was in a new washing machine that I felted them, so I put them in a short cycle, I think 30 degrees for 30 minutes. It wasn't enough, it almost didn't felt, so I put... Did I put an hour with 40 degrees? And then it felted way too much, like this. I should have written that down. I don't know. Can't remember. But the second time it was way too much, and the first time not enough. So yeah, but can't use them anyway because we only have one. But I'm really hoping we can find them again, find the second one again. So yeah, that's pretty much it that I have to say about this pair of slippers. And that's it for my finished objects. Now my works in progress. The first one that I have is a pair of socks. You've seen them already if you watched the last episodes, but this is the first sock. Here it is. This is Under the Quilt Socks by Stone Knits. It's such a nice pattern for colorwork socks. In her pattern I did a lot of modifications too. Well, not a lot, but I am making the size 2 and I followed the pattern here, did the increases here for the colorwork, which I really like because it makes such a nice colorwork. It's not all stretched out because we increased the number of stitches, so perfect. And I only did 2 repetitions here of the colorwork because I didn't want to have it throughout the whole sock because I didn't want the sock to be too warm. And then I did the decreases to go back to the right number of stitches because I didn't do the colorwork throughout this whole sock. And I did a heel flap and gusset with a reinforced heel instead of a short row heel. Now I just follow the length that I did the decreases, and I'm about to start the toes, and I'm going to do anatomical toes because if you've followed me for a while you know that I'm trying to find the perfect sock fit, and it goes with anatomical toes, which I find a lot more comfortable. Again, the toes can spread, it's a lot more comfortable for the foot, for the toes, and so yeah, I need to calculate again because I made this sock with more stitches but smaller needles, so it's a little bit tighter, so to have more durability to the socks. I think I went a little bit too far. I went like 1 or 2 rows too far, so I might have to undo them, but I do have to calculate how many decreases I need to make, and like if it's in every row, every second row. So yeah, that's where I am. And so since I have to do all these calculations, I just put them a little bit aside. But it was a great project to take on the go. And I'm knitting them with Mondim from Rosaria, Rosa Pomar, which is a sock yarn but 100% wool, non-superwash. So I love it. As long as we're talking about socks, I'm going to talk about this one. So this is a pair of socks that I started for my toddler. We went to a yarn festival together a few months ago, and so he picked up this yarn, Sous le Noyer. It's a yarn from Belgium, 100% wool, non-superwash. It's a sock yarn, but it's more of a sport weight than a fingering weight yarn. So that's why I had some trouble knitting with it, I think. It's hand-dyed yarn with natural dyes, with plants. So really nice. But I started them and they're a lot too big. I started with 48 stitches for a 4 years old, and it's too big. It's way too big. Here it is. So I have to start again. Also, it's a little bit hard to knit with this yarn. It's very dry, but it's not elastic, and so I don't know if it's the dye. I don't know if it's the yarn in itself. I don't know what it is, but it's quite hard on the hands. So I have to start again. I have to say I wasn't sure like if I stopped entirely and started like in August again for next autumn, or if I would knit them now, because if I have so much trouble finding the right size, it will take me a bit of time to knit them, and now that the spring is almost here, I don't think he's gonna be wearing them quite soon. So this is it for this pair of socks. Just checking that my baby's still sleeping. Now the next work in progress. I have this one. I'm just going to take them here. So this is the Monday sweater by Petiteknit. I'm knitting the smallest size and I'm knitting it in Drops Puna. Here it is. So this is 100% alpaca, so it makes it quite heavy. This is my 6th ball of yarn and I'm just starting the sleeve, the first sleeve. I'm doing a project vlog for this one, and I made it to pattern until now, but the first modification that I'm making is that I want more tapered sleeves, so I am doing decreases every 6th round. And yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. I did everything to pattern. The length, because I tried it on and it was the right length. The only thing that I'm a bit worried about is that it's gonna grow because it's so heavy. I mean, it's already 250 grams for just the body. So, yeah. The yarn is a little bit hard to have a good tension with. Because it's so slippery. I think the fact that it's 100% alpaca doesn't make it really easy to work with. But I really like the softness of it. It's gonna be really, really warm, I think. I hope not too warm. I'll see. But yeah, this is a double folded color, and yeah, so it's gonna be really nice. I wanted to have a white jumper, so that's why, like, very basic jumper. So that's why I did this one. And I'm getting quite warm with the sun here. And I'm realizing I didn't say that what I'm wearing. So this is the Amy Slipover by Sandnes Garn, which is a jumper, a slipover from a booklet. And we have ties on the sides to close it. And I modified it a little bit, but I talked about it in my last episode if you're interested about it. Just showing you. And I made it in Plotulopi from Istex, which is an unspun yarn. And I think my baby's awake, so I'm going to go and I'm going to go and see him. So I will continue this episode a bit later in the day, in the week. I'm not sure. With the baby, nothing's ever sure, but I'll see you a bit later. Okay, so my baby's asleep again, so I'm continuing. I forgot what I was saying. I think I was just talking about this one, this Monday sweater. So anyway, I started it again after putting it on the back burner after a few months. So yeah, happy to start it again. Also, I ordered some more yarn, so I know I have enough now to finish it. Now for the next one. This is the Franky sweater from Sandnes Garn. It's from the same booklet as the Amy Slipover, and I'm knitting it in this yarn here in Terroir Laine. This is a French yarn, 100% yarn, and it's a decay weight. And I absolutely love this yarn. It's undyed, so this is just the color of the sheeps. And I love how heathered it is. I hope you can see correctly with all the sun. But it's like grey, light grey with some darker bits in it. And it's woolen spun, so I absolutely love this about this yarn because it will bloom beautifully when blocking. And so I made a few modifications. So the first one is that I made less increases here for the raglan because it has only 3 sizes, and so I'm making the smallest one, but I had 50 centimeters of positive ease, which was more than what I wanted, even though I wanted an oversized jumper, but this was too much for what I wanted. So I did less increases, and I did decreases for the sleeves because I wanted tapered sleeves, and it had straight sleeves. So I think I did too many decreases, so I might have to go back and do it and start again. I did both sleeves already, and I'm a bit stuck here because I don't know if I want to try to block it first before unraveling it, or if I should already do it and without even blocking it. I'm not sure yet. So at the moment I'm just knitting away the body so I don't have to think about it. But yeah, I'm knitting the body at the moment. I've made the body longer here in stockinette, and I will do less ribbing because I didn't want to have too much ribbing. I think we had 10 centimeters of stockinette and then 30, if I'm not mistaken, centimeters of ribbing, or maybe 20 or 25. Well, a lot of ribbing. So I didn't want to have that much ribbing, so I did more stockinette, and I will do less ribbing. And also, since I made it not as long, I omitted some increases for the raglan part. It will sit higher on my body, and so the separation for the sleeves has been made before, like higher than what's in the pattern. So the body should be longer to have the same length as in the pattern. So yeah, I'm just knitting the ribbing, and that's pretty much it. It has a double folded collar. It's a little weird here. This is the front. It has this little thing here, like there's too much fabric here, but I'll see how it goes with blocking. Since this is a rustic wool, but it's not itchy at all. It's just a little bit dry, a lot less than this one actually. But yeah, I absolutely love this wool. And this is the third ball that I have, the sort of third skein. I have a fourth one, and I feel like I'm not gonna need the whole skein for this sweater. So this is nice because I will be able to start my partner's jumper with the same yarn because he absolutely loves it. So yeah, I don't want to start it straight away because I don't want to have 3 jumpers on my needle. This is too much for me. At the moment I feel like I need to finish the works in progress that I have. I don't want to have too many projects, and that's why I've been mostly knitting on this one. This has been my main project at the moment, because I didn't want to have too many at the same time. I don't want to be overwhelmed with this. So yeah, I do really want to finish this one and this one before I start my partner's jumper. At least one out of the two. Even though I didn't want to have too many projects on my needle, I still started another one. But this is a small one. It should be a quick knit. So I am knitting a Haïko vest for my baby. Here it is. It's just the beginning. I'm knitting it in Drops Lima. So this is a yarn from Stash. I've had it for many years. I made my baby a baby bear bonnet from Knitting for Olive with this yarn already. So I thought it would be cute to have a vest to go with it. But this yarn, I've had it for many years in my stash because I bought it, initially I bought it to make my partner a jumper. And I tried first jumper, it didn't fit. Another one, it was a bit chaotic. Nothing worked anyway. And so now I just took out this yarn again, thinking I really want to make him a jumper. And he really wants one. I asked him, do you really want me to knit with this yarn? And he was like, that's not so much the color I would wear anymore. And yeah, so we decided that I would use this yarn for something else, and we would find another yarn for him. So I have a man's quantity for a jumper for a man in this yarn, and so I have a lot of of balls. So I need to use them. I want to use them. So initially I started this in the size 4 years old for my toddler, but then I decided, I thought he already has one that still fits him at least for this spring and the fresh summer evenings. So I thought I would, I had knit almost the whole body. It's knitted bottom up. I had made almost the whole body, and I was like, oh, I'll start again. I want to do it for the baby because he has one that he wears. And so I'm making the size 6 to 12 months old. This is my pattern. And I'm actually also knitting it because I rewrote it entirely. And so I wanted to ensure that it was okay with the way I rewrote it. I had it testing, and so I just need to finish with a few comments, and I still wanted to redo it to ensure that everything works. So I'm doing it. Yeah, it's a very easy vest in garter stitch, and for this one I'm knitting the buttonholes all the way from the bottom to the top, and not just the two at the top or just one. So I have the two first buttonholes here, and yeah, and this time I am holding the yarn double. Initially it was knit in the yarn La Ferme des Cycles in la Trois Brins, I think. But from La Ferme des Cycles, and this I wanted to use my stash yarn, and so this is it. And this is going to be quite a quick knit. It's knit on 6mm needles, which is really big needles for me. So it's going to be really quick. It should be really quick. And I think it's such a good pattern for babies, for toddlers too, but for babies because they have they're really chubby and they have small arms, and so I don't want him to be too tight in his clothes, and so I think it's really nice to have a vest so he can be warm. He can have his chest and his back warm, but still being able to move around. So I think it's quite good to have a vest like this. And I'm knitting the size 6 to 12 months old because he's actually just 3. He just turned 3 a few days ago, and so he's quite a big baby. He's on the big size. He's tall and big, and so I didn't want to make the size 3 months old because he wouldn't be able to fit into it. I'm making the buttonholes all the way down, but I'm not sure I'm gonna put buttons because with their big belly, I don't know if it's useful to be able to close it all the way down or not. I will see. Those are thoughts for later. I'm just making the buttonholes, so at least I have the choice to put the buttons or not. And I think that's it for today. I feel like I've brushed a little bit through this episode. I think because I didn't know how much time I had, so I wanted to be a little fast, so I would be able to talk about everything. The setup takes me a bit of time to put it into place, and so it's not just easy to sit down, record for 5 minutes and stop and do it another day, because I don't want to leave the camera in the middle of the living room for days. So because I have a toddler running around touching everything, and it's okay if he touches the camera, he knows to be careful with it, but I still don't want the camera to sit in the living room for days. Anyway, I'm rambling, so I will stop here. But I'm still glad I was able to film an episode. I do think I should sit down a little bit more often, and even though I don't record a whole podcast, maybe it can be a few bits here and there, and it's okay, and maybe you will see some progress in some projects in the same episode. I'll see, but if I don't want to be too long between 2 episodes, I might do that instead of trying to find the perfect timing where I have an hour in front of me, because we never know when a baby sleeps if I will have an hour or just 15 minutes. So yeah, thanks for watching this episode, and I hope that you're having fun in your crafts. And yeah, I would love to hear what your knitting or your crocheting is, and what your plans are for spring knitting. If you have some plans already. I'm looking outside because this weather makes me so happy, and I still want to knit even with this weather. So yeah, I think I will enjoy some of the time that I have left before my baby wakes up to knit a few rounds, and I will see you in the next episode. Bye!